Only 3 weeks left, and most people still have no idea what's about to change. On January 1st, a confirmed state pension rule update from the DWP comes into force, and once that date passes, there's no rewind button. For some, this could affect future payments, entitlement decisions, or options you didn't even realize you had. If you think this doesn't apply to you because you're already retired or everything looks fine, that's exactly why you need to stay until the end of this video, because the biggest pension shocks usually hit the people who weren't expecting anything to change at all. Before we go any further, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. This space is only for people in the UK who rely on their state pension, are approaching retirement, or simply want the truth about what's happening behind the scenes at DWP and HMRC. I share real pension payment updates, confirmed rule changes, and early warnings about pension crises before they affect your wallet. If your pension matters to you, this channel is for you. Subscribe now so you don't miss what could protect your income in the months ahead. Only 3 weeks left. That's not a lot of time, especially when it comes to something as important as your state pension. Right now, thousands of people across the country are going about their daily routines without realizing that a major state pension rule change is coming into force on January 1st, and the Department for Work and Pensions has officially confirmed it. This isn't one of those vague future plans that might happen years down the line. This is real, it's happening, and it could directly affect how much money you receive, when you receive it, and even whether you need to take action before the deadline passes. If you've worked hard your entire life, paid your national insurance contributions, and counted on your state pension for security and retirement, then this update deserves your full attention. For many people, the words rule change immediately cause concern, and understandably so. Over the years, we've seen how small adjustments to pension rules can have big consequences. Sometimes they work in your favor, increasing payments or making things fairer. Other times, they quietly introduce new conditions, deadlines, or requirements that can catch people out if they're not prepared. What makes this January 1st change different is the timing. The DWP has confirmed the update just weeks before it comes into effect, leaving a very narrow window for people to check their situation, understand what's changing, and make sure they're not accidentally left worse off. The heart of this update is about how state pension entitlements are assessed and protected as we move into the new year. For some pensioners, it will affect future increases, while for others, it may influence how qualifying years, top-ups, or deferrals are handled going forward. The state pension system has always been built on rules that reward consistency, but as life patterns change and more people have breaks in employment, carrying responsibilities, or periods of self-employment, the government keeps adjusting the framework. This January update is part of that ongoing adjustment, and it's designed to tighten certain processes while clarifying others. What many people don't realize is that state pension changes don't just affect those who are already retired. They can have a significant impact on people who are approaching retirement age, sometimes even more so. If you're within a few years of claiming your state pension, the rules in place on January 1st could determine how your record is viewed and what options are still available to you. That's why this 3-week countdown matters so much. Waiting until after the new year could mean missing opportunities that are only available under the current rules. The DWP has emphasized that this update is about alignment and accuracy. In simple terms, they want the system to better reflect individual contribution records and ensure payments are calculated correctly from the very start. While that sounds reassuring, it also means there will be less flexibility in certain areas. In the past, some people benefited from grace periods, informal corrections, or extended windows to make changes. From January 1st, the system becomes more structured, and that structure doesn't always work in favor of those who are unaware or unprepared. One of the biggest risks right now is assumption. Many people assume that because they've always received their pension on time, nothing will change for them. Others believe that because they're already over state pension age, new rules simply don't apply. Unfortunately, that's not always true. Some changes affect how future increases are applied, how overseas periods are treated, or how certain credits are recognized. Even if your current payment stays the same on day one, the long-term impact can still be significant. Another important aspect of this update is communication. While the DWP has confirmed the rule change, not everyone will receive a personal letter explaining exactly how it affects them. In fact, many people will only discover the implications months later, when they notice something different in their payment or receive an unexpected notification. By then, it may be too late to act under the old rules. That's why awareness right now is so critical. Knowledge in this case really is protection. There's also an emotional side to this that often gets overlooked. For many pensioners, the state pension isn't just money. It represents security, dignity, and peace of mind after decades of work. Any uncertainty around it can cause stress and anxiety, especially during a time when living costs remain high and budgets are already stretched. Knowing that a confirmed change is coming, but not fully understanding it, can leave people feeling uneasy. The good news is that taking a bit of time now to understand what's happening can remove much of that worry. As January 1st approaches, conversations around pensions are becoming more urgent, especially among families. Adult children are checking in on parents, and friends are comparing notes, trying to make sense of what they've heard. Some information circulating online is accurate, while other claims are exaggerated or misleading. That's why it's important to focus on what has actually been confirmed and what actions are sensible right now. Panic helps no one, but preparation can make all the difference. This update also highlights a bigger trend we're seeing with pensions in general. The rules are becoming more precise, more digital, and less forgiving of gaps or errors. That doesn't mean the system is against pensioners, but it does mean that personal responsibility is increasing. Checking your record, understanding your entitlement, and staying informed are no longer optional extras. They're becoming essential parts of protecting your income in retirement. With only 3 weeks left, the message from this update is clear. Don't wait and hope everything will sort itself out. Take this time to be aware, to ask questions, and to make sure you understand where you stand before January 1st arrives. Even a small check now can prevent much bigger problems later. Once the new rules are in place, the system will move forward under those conditions, and looking back will be much harder. This is exactly why this channel exists. We focus on state pension updates, DWP announcements, and real changes that affect everyday people, not confusing jargon or empty promises. If you want clear explanations, timely warnings, and honest discussions about pensions and retirement in the UK, then make sure you're subscribed. These updates aren't always talked about openly, but they matter, and we're here to make sure you don't miss them. With big changes like this happening more often, staying connected could protect your pension and your peace of mind in the months and years ahead.